Guys, hey, it's Cody here, alias Heavy T. Anyway, I don't give a shit about hiding my name anymore. Hey, I wanted to shoot out a video tonight, and wanted to go over a couple of things. The first thing I wanted to go over was what we were talking about the other day when I sent that video out. Went to about 80 views, and then I pulled it. I want to explain to you guys why I did that. It just so happens I had one of these people that I had met and became friends with him, and he was kind of a little more of the criminal element type of person where he, I knew he did, some shit that was illegal, and I kind of looked the other way. I was figuring I could be a good inspiration to this person, and help them to maybe change their ways and the way that they were going, their path, and teach them that there's love still in this place, and there's still good things that people can do for one another. And what happened is this gentleman didn't care. I believe he was a confident informant, and I believe he was tailing me, trying to get me to slip up, trying to get me caught in something so that they could take me down and put me in jail or prison, whatever they were trying to do. And what really sucks is I really believed in this person, and I thought he was a friend. I thought he was a friend of mine. I thought he was a person that, had integrity and was really trying. I believed him. I believed he was trying to, find a better path, but he was in some trouble because he had some warrants and stuff out for him, supposedly is what he said, quote unquote, and said he had been to prison already, to DOC. I checked, he had never been to prison. At least he had no record of DOC on my identity. Whoops, shit. Slipped on a damn stair. But anyway, yeah, he had no record of being in the DOC, and I believe he was a confident informant for Denver PD. So what happened was he had borrowed my car one day when I was at work. He said he needed to get his girlfriend. He rode the bus down there. I said, okay, that's cool. Just have it back to me before I leave, and he did. Well, later that night, when I was getting groceries, I came out to get some more out of the car, and I was thrown down on the ground and handcuffed by 2 Lakewood police officers. And then they said that Denver had to come and basically interview me because my car was involved in a theft. So we waited for Denver to come down. I had a warrant out for my arrest, and I ended up going to jail for it. And I also got charged with a felony as well. So this person got me in all that trouble and acted like nothing was wrong. I have no idea. They still haven't obviously found him yet. They have no interest in getting him. So he set me up, and it just really sucks, that a person like that is looking for people like me to set up. People that are just like good people that aren't out, raping and pillaging and murdering and, doing those things. They're not after those kind of people. They're after people like me, So anyway, I just want to shoot that out there and kind of like talk to you guys a little bit about that. I'm doing my best to forgive the guy. It's kind of hard right now, but I'm trying really hard. Anyway, what I wanted to go over tonight, in retrospect to the second part of my video, is I wanted to talk about CERN. And the reason why I want to talk about CERN is I dug into CERN for a while. In fact, I was doing some of these, I was actually looking into it because a lot of my apps on my computer were changed from 2017 to basically 1969. So I became a little bit obsessed with the 1969. Why was the people that were hacking into my computer or whatever was hacking into it, probably the AI was doing it, kept putting 1969. It was like giving me a clue to 1969. So I began to research it. And in 1969, there were some major events that were happening. That was when the JFK assassination had taken place. The fake moon landing had taken place. And looking into it, CERN had the first website, which had taken place on the web. Basically, the internet was invented, and CERN had the first website ever. What's funny about that is in 1990, I pulled up some articles, and CERN did not exist in 1969 at that time. These articles had another company as having the first website, and it was not CERN. Now, it could be that there's information gaps in there or something. It's possible that maybe they had the wrong information. I don't believe it was. I believe what happened was, I think they went back in time, okay, created CERN at an earlier date, created the technology at an earlier date that was going to be in the future, in order to be able to manipulate timelines and events sooner rather than later. They wanted the technology to be able to work faster and have it more readily available in order to, when it was coming into basically the 21st century. And I really believe that they could time travel. I believe the technology was around. The Nazis had basically pioneered it. Somehow they were able to create vortexes, and through the studying and researching of the stargates that they found, they actually had 2 stargates, the Nazis did. And one of the reasons why we went into Iraq was to get one of those stargates. I believe that wholeheartedly, that's why we went in there. So they've been time traveling. There's been a lot of time wars going on. That's what's caused the Mandela effect. So if you guys are kind of wondering about the Mandela effect, that's what's causing that. I'm going to turn this forward because I can't see. So there, that's better. Looking for my dog. But anyway, they wanted to manipulate the timelines. They didn't want to do major ones. They did a major one with the Kennedy. I think the good people were traveling in time, trying to go back to save JFK. And I think the bad ones beat him to it. And I think that he was assassinated again. I think that's why you see the 6 people in the car versus the 4. That event was definitely something played into that event. Now, the other major events that were taking place, they didn't want to mess with. Because one of the things that messing with timelines, manipulating timelines, it changes things. Obviously, the Mandela effect proves that. And they knew if they made, changed and manipulated some of the major timeline events, that it would wake more people up, and that's what they didn't want. So they were doing their best not to, there goes my dog chasing that rabbit again. Same rabbit, it seems like every night. Anyway, they knew that it would wake more people up, so they were more interested in doing the medium to light timelines because they could manipulate them enough to give them some leeway, some room to, change things, but it wouldn't wake everybody up because the events were, light to medium. It wouldn't, raise the alarm and wake, like 1 million to 2 million people up immediately. And that's what manipulating some of the larger events would do. So the thing is, you guys have to understand, the cloning has been going on for a long time. Now, they were doing it in the Egyptian days. Okay, they were actually cloning then. They had the technology. Now, what the families have been doing, okay, the elite families, is they have been cloning each other for thousands of years. And they're doing it so that they can escape. They want to basically escape the black hole sun death that's actually awaiting them. They know if they die, and they escape immortality, if they die, it's over. If they escape immortality, then they can keep living. And they can keep living in this 3D world. Well, the thing is, Gaia, Terra, or planet Earth, whatever you want to call it, is shifting right now into a 5th dimensional plane. She's actually, for the first time, she's tired. She's actually a living entity, Mother Earth is. So as she ascends, she's going to be pulling a lot of us with her, okay? Now, these elite families won't be able to go. So they're trying to hold as many of us down as they can in order to keep living and, on and on and on. Well, that's not going to happen soon. Soon, once the consciousness of the planet reaches a certain point, it's automatically going to pull us through. It's going to pull everybody through to a certain extent. Now, people may have karmic work that they have to get, solved. And I think that's what's happening with a lot of us in our suffering with the targeted individuals. is we're going through trials. I think everybody's going through trials, not just targeted individuals. The main thing with the targeted individuals that I found out when I researched it, and I went into CERN, is what CERN did was they did a ceremony, okay? And it basically opened up the portal to hell for 3 days, okay? They wanted Baal to come through. Baal did come through and brought a lot of his demons with him. I believe he's the 4th or 5th lieutenant of hell, and he carries the biggest army, legion of demons out of them all. And I believe he brought them in with him. Now, the reason why the MK Ultra experiments were happening, and they MK Ultra'd so many of us as children, the ones that are targeted individuals, is they were trying to set up our bodies because we had certain DNA structures that would allow these demons to come into us and take over our bodies. Okay, well, that didn't happen with all of us. A lot of us actually escaped it. And, you know, through our prayers with Yahshua, through things that we did, we were actually able to keep them out and get them out. I had to actually get one out of me, but we actually did it. We actually beat them, okay? So I believe that's what they were doing. So you're actually seeing a result of that. You can see a lot of the stars and stuff, they're basically possessed. They were set up for these things to come into them, and they're gone. You can see it in their public life, you can see it in their private life, that they've been possessed. So anyway, I want to cover more of this, but I want to do it on another night. So I'm going to do this as part 1 because I don't want these to be real long. I want them to be fairly short. So I'll call this one part 1 of CERN, and you know, my next one will be part 2 of CERN. So anyway, that's what I wanted to throw out there, and I'll keep praying for you guys. Keep praying for me, please. And I really appreciate the support. You guys are great. I love you. Heavy T. I'm out.